All right, what's going on, you guys? Brian here with my AEW Dark and Impact Wrestling recaps for this week's episodes of AEW Dark and Impact Wrestling. Starting off with AEW Dark, we saw Jurassic Express pick up a victory in six-man tag team action. SCU, they picked up a tag team victory. This time that was Kazarian and Christopher Daniels picking up the win. Big Swole, she picked up a victory in one-on-one women's action. Lance Archer picked up a dominant victory. Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela, they continued their successful work as a tag team. They picked up a victory in tag team action. Brandy Rhodes and Allie, a very unlikely tag team, they scored a victory in tag team action. Shawn Spears defeated Lee Johnson in one-on-one action. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson of the Dark Order, they were victorious in tag team action. Jimmy Havoc, he picked up a victory in one-on-one action. Penelope Ford, she continues her wave of momentum after pinning the women's champion last Wednesday on Dynamite. She continues her winning ways tonight on Dark. And Scorpio Sky closes out AEW Dark with a victory of his own. So moving on to Impact Wrestling, the North successfully defended the Impact Tag Team Championships against Wentz and Dez of the Rascals. Trey of the Rascals was found backstage unconscious, and a lot of finger pointing started. Ace Austin was interviewed about Trey being attacked, and he said he had nothing to do with it, and it was probably somebody else. Nevaeh, who had Havoc in her corner, she picked up a win over Kimber Lee, gaining a measure of revenge for Havoc, who had lost twice to Kimber Lee. Afterwards, they would try to get their hands on Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan, who they had a bit of a run-in last week with backstage. I said they tried to get their hands on Tasha and Kiera, but because Kiera and Tasha were in the stands or in the audience, and they were sitting, and then after Nevaeh picked up the victory, her and Havoc were leaving the ring, and they started throwing popcorn at them, and Havoc was trying to get after them, but Nevaeh was kept holding her back. We had the North coming off their big tag team title victory, retaining their championships. They were wondering why nobody was watching their match, their successful title defense. They run into a group of guys backstage who were watching on a tablet on Impact Plus about Ken Shamrock, and the North destroyed the tablet, the guy's tablet. Or I should say, the one guy's tablet that they were watching on. We heard from Crazy Steve. He challenged Cancel Culture, that being Joseph P. Ryan, Rob Van Dam, and Jacob Christ, to a tag team or a six-man tag match for next week, in which Crazy Steve will have to find two partners to join him. So that's a match set for next week. Rhino defeated Rohit Raju in one-on-one competition. Michael Elgin, he had a bit of an interview where he was asked if he had anything to do with the attack on Trey earlier on in the night. He denied having anything to do with it, and he said that if he wanted to take somebody out, he would have grabbed the cameraman and drug him to show the world what he was going to do. So that was it for that. We had a Kylie Ray, Susie, Taya Valkyrie segment that would lead to Susie versus Taya Valkyrie set for next week. So that's another huge match for next week as well. Moose successfully defended the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Hernandez. The Rascals confronted Reno Scum, who denied having anything to do with attacking Trey. We had a Deaners and X Division champion Willie Mack promo where they challenged Chris Bay and Johnny Swinger, who they've been having issues with over the last couple of weeks, to a 6-man tag team match for next week. And they have to, and Chris Bay and Johnny Swinger have to find a partner. Swinger and Chris Bay accepted, and Swinger told Chris Bay a little bit later, "Don't worry about it. I've got somebody. Don't trust me on this." And so it'll be interesting to see who their third partner is going to be. Reno Scum picked up a big tag team victory over Triple XL, AC Romero and Larry D. So Reno Scum victorious, moving their way up in the ranks of the tag team title picture. We heard from the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo, who made a very strong statement last week on Impact at the conclusion of the Jordynne Grace Taya Valkyrie Knockouts Championship match that saw Jordynne Grace successfully retain her title. Deonna Purrazzo made her mission clear, made her statement known that she is coming for the Knockouts title, and she is sending a clear-cut message attacking Jordynne Grace last week, putting her in an armbar, and sending a message to not just the other Knockouts, but to mainly Jordynne Grace that she's here. So she talked about this week, like I said, she had a bit of a vignette or video about her talking about how she got into the business, how she when she first came to Impact Wrestling, she was nervous, she was shy, but now she's not that anymore. She's more confident, she's more meaner, she's ready to make a statement and take the Knockouts division by storm. So that was it for that. Then there was an interview with Jordynne Grace, the current Knockouts champion, who talked about Deonna Purrazzo's actions from last week. She said that if Deonna Purrazzo wanted a shot at the Knockouts title, all she had to do was find her face to face. And that before she could finish her interview, Deonna Purrazzo attacked her again backstage and put her in the armbar, and that was pretty much it for that. Then in the main event, it was Ace Austin defeating Eddie Edwards with a lot of help from the big man, Madman Fulton, who apparently is aligned with Ace Austin, and could Madman Fulton have been the one that attacked Trey not only on tonight's episode, but 2 weeks ago. At least that's what the commentators Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne made it seem like, that it was Madman Fulton that attacked Trey. So a lot of things happened on tonight's episode. When they concluded the show, they showed once again the same video of the same newscast talking about the 20 wrestlers that were released from their contracts a few months ago, and who's going to be, it'll have something to do with Slammiversary coming up on July 18th. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens, who shows up at Slammiversary, and how it's going to change Impact Wrestling. So we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I thought this week's episode of Impact was good. I'm interested to see how things progress going into Slammiversary coming up on July 18th. So that's pretty much it. So with that being said, this has been my AEW Dark and Impact Wrestling recaps. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.